Woo! Finally back. So I'm wondering what's been happening to me for the past. I don't know. I haven't been uploaded in like a week. I got a new computer like a couple days ago, and I just now pretty much just got everything I needed to be installed. Like Vegas was a complete jerk on Windows 7. Jeez, there's just so many things. Like all the drivers for pretty much all our old junk, and to get like Windows 7 drivers and God, this computer has been like an absolute ass to get everything up and running. It's all done now, and I can finally like post stuff. And I haven't actually recorded anything for my Let's Play in level. I ran into a wild Pokemon here, Among Us. Hey, I'm a developer. That's my fly slave. So yeah, I don't have any things for my Let's Play or anything recorded. I had to get that done. But this computer is so much faster than my other one. Oh my God, it's like I'm living in heaven in terms of speed for this thing. So finally got a match up here, so I'm gonna see if I can upload more battles now, since I can now use Sony Vegas to record my battles with, since I can render a lot faster. So that should be cool. So I got a UU battle here against lemarvinjordan23. Haha, no forgetting for me. So I see a sand team, which is pretty cool to see in UU, and so I know he's gonna lead off with the Hippopotas. So I'm gonna lead off with my Moltres. I'm just gonna go straight off for the air slash because I'm kind of hoping for the flinch so I can prevent the Stealth Rock's first turn. So I do get it, which is kind of cool, but it does fall shy of the 2 KO, which makes me sad. I'm just going to go for it again, since I am scarfed and locked into it. So you're going to go into Quagsire to take the predicted air slash. It takes it not as well, I think, as he hoped. I mean, took it as well as Hippopotas did, and Hippopotas had a Violite. So yeah, I predict the water move and go into my Empoleon. Next, he has the Rock Slide, which is pretty weird to see on a Quagsire. Not that I see much Quagsire, since Gastrodon's kind of just better in every way imaginable. So I go for the Grass Knot just to be safe. He ends up going into his Mew, and since it's pretty light, it takes very little from it. I'm going to just go into Moltres because Mew is just so versatile. You really don't know what it's going to do. So I was kind of thinking Trick Scarf, so I went to Moltres predicting that. But he just has the Aura Sphere and the Life Orb, so I'm thinking it's like an offensive Mew with like Nasty Plot and stuff, because I see Life Orb and Aura Sphere. So I'm going to go straight off for the Overheat. I was tempted to go for the U-turn there, but if he stayed in, I didn't think U-turn would have killed, and I didn't want to take a Psychic, so I just went straight off for the Overheat to kill it off. He ends up going into Flygon, takes almost half from it, which is kind of impressive on Moltres' part. And yeah, I do predict him to U-turn there, because I don't really think he wants to go for the Outrage this early in the game, so I just end up staying and going for the Overheat again. He does end up going for the U-turn. Now, he is faster, so I know he's Scarfed, and I hit the incoming Quagsire for a lot of damage, even after the -2. Moltres is a monster. That was a -2 Overheat. He didn't take it well at all. So I know he's going to recover here. Just going to go right back into my Empoleon and kind of repeat the process for the second time and go for the Grass Knot. I'm not going to predict him to go into his Mew, because if he goes into it again, I really don't care, since the thing about Mew is that even though you never know what it's going to do, it's not that great at doing for anything, really, except transforming, I guess, but it's like, even though it's like, oh, it's this kind of Mew, it's never that big of a threat. So yeah, I do switch out after the Mew comes in. I go into Uxie, he ends up going for the T-Bolt. It does like a third, and I am going to be able to live it pretty easily. So I'm just going to go straight off for the Stealth Rocks, because I want them up. He switches into a Hippopotas, I guess predicting me to set them up. So we both, so I am going to U-turn predicting the Rocks to come in and get my Moltres since it is below half, and it's the only way I'm going to be able to do anything with it before the Rocks come up, since I can't really stop them and I don't have a spinner on this team. I was supposed to have a spinner on this team, but I never got any of them to level 100 yet, so yeah. So going straight for the Flamethrower just to lock myself into it, because there's nothing else I can really do about it. He ends up going to his Quagsire. Here I was thinking of just staying in a Flamethrowing, but then I figured he's probably going to recover, and I really just rather have the Death Fodder switch of Moltres than him have a Quagsire at full health, and let me just Flamethrower him. So I'm just going to switch into Empoleon for the free, and now I can just threaten him with a Grass Knot for the 3rd time this match. He ends up this time going into Stoutland. The Stoutland doesn't take the Grass Knot very well, but this thing does have Sand Rush, obviously, and I really don't want to take any... this thing is faster than my entire team. I really don't want to take an Earthquake if it has it, so I just switch out going to Moltres, but he makes a double switch and goes into Cordelia. I'm not sure what he's predicting there, but yeah, I did win to Moltres just to see what the Stoutland wanted to do, and now he has a Cordelia out, so I get switch advantage, which is neat. So I bring out my Nidoking and going straight for the Ice Beam, because his team is kind of Ice Beam weak. He has nothing to really take it. He has nothing to resist it. So Ice Beam hits the Quagsire for decent damage. I could Earth Power and kill him there, but I kind of like to play my Nidoking like it's Scarfed for a bit, at least for the first like couple turns I bring it in. So I played it like I was Scarfed and just kind of switched out into my Uxie, predicting the Earthquake, but he actually goes for the Waterfall, which does little damage, but you know, it's better than the Earthquake, which would have done nothing. So I'm just going to go for the Reflect here, since I do need that Reflect to be able to live some hits from both the Stoutland and this Scarf Flygon here. So I do get that up. I'm going to go into my Empoleon here, figuring he's going to do anything but the Earthquake, and if he U-turns for the switch advantage, I really don't care, since Empoleon could pretty much take out anything on his team, except for this Mew, which comes in, of course, so he's going to go into the Mew. I'm still not fearing it that much. I mean, at the point amount of health it's at, it will die to a Life Orb plus Sandstorm hit, so I go into Nidoking predicting the Aura Sphere, makes a great play and predicts that, and goes for the Ice Beam, so my Nidoking is going to die there. But like I said, after Life Orb and Sandstorm, he's going to die himself, so it's not too bad. So we got Double Down up in here. So he's going to go into a Scarfer like you should do in a Double Down. I go into my Empoleon again. Like I said, I know Empoleon could take pretty much anything on his team. So here, I know he's going to want to over-predict here. I know he's going to want to go for the U-turn because he needs that switch advantage. Because I do have him in a back in the... I am winning this game in a sense, so I know he's going to want the switch advantage. So I stayed in predicting U-turn, and it turns out pretty awesome because he has to switch into Credility, and that thing can't take 2 Specs Ice Beams despite the special defense boost that Credility gets. So that thing goes down. He goes into Stoutland. I'm still fearing the Earthquake. This thing is faster than my whole team now that my Moltres is dead, so I'm going to go into my Clefable, take any hit. Since the Reflect's up, it won't do too much. He does have to Retaliate though, and because that doubles in power when you kill something or something like that, it does a ton of damage. But he can't use it again for the same power, so he has to go for the return, which won't kill me. And I am able to get a Wish off and decide to heal up my Empoleons, because I know that thing is the most useful thing on my team right now. So Specs Emp is doing some work in you. Dang, I'm so disappointed when all I see is wall Empoleons in Yu. I just cry a little inside. I know Empoleon lost for Tire Berry in 5th gen, but it's still a great offensive Pokemon, so... yeah, get that thing healed all the way back up, and now he's going to go for the return again. Does a lot more. I decided to lock myself in the Ice Beam. I know he's going to kill himself with Life Orb, but I decided, hey, lock myself in Ice Beam. Why not? He goes into his Flygon here, and I know he's probably going to U-turn, but either way, I'm just going to go into my Uxie to take whatever. And he actually goes for the Earthquake, which is very awesome for me. That was, like, key. So... I do live the Sandstorm, which is huge. I only have time to set up one screen. I opt to go for the Reflect, obviously, since everything he has left is physical, except maybe the Quagsire, but not really a big threat, so... yeah, I do get the Reflect up, which is huge. I got 8 turns of Reflect now, so that's going to be big. So, going to my Empoleon, he does go into Quagsire here, I guess, predicting my Hydro Pump, or my Surf, or Scald, I guess. Why would you have Scald on the Specs? Whatever. He predicted my Water move, so I ended up thing to get the Water Absorb, but clearly I just went for the Ice Beam, because everything on his team can't take it. So, he goes into this Flygon, is second to last. I'm going to go into my it's Death Botter, but because of Magic Guard, I don't take any Sandstorm or Rocks damage. I actually take that with the Reflect, which is kind of a pro move. So I decided to be a little bit of a jerk here because I lived, so I'm going to kind of go for the 2-0 instead of the 1-0 because I pretty much have this in a bag at this point. So I'm going to be a little bit of a jerk, going to my Flygon, then U-turn knowing he has to switch because he's Scarfed and I'm banded myself, by the way. And yeah, I'm going to go for that U-turn, does a decent chunk to the Hippo. I'm going to go right back into my Clefable, and because of Magic Guard, I can just switch in all day with the Sandstorm and the Rocks. I don't care, because I got Magic Guard. So, I'm just going to Ice Beam that thing. That thing's going to die, and now his last is the Flygon. He can't lock himself into one move to kill both my guys, and not to mention that I do have the Reflect up, so it's my game from this point anyway. Besides this to lock himself into Outrage, since it is his strongest move, and he can kind of fish for the crit with my Empoleon to win the game, since I am banded, my Flygon won't outspeed him, but... even if he critted me, I don't think that would have killed me. Look how little that does. Dang, that's a Reflect. Specs Emp is a beast in Yu. God, this thing is an absolute monster. That's going to be a good game. That was an awesome match. Great Yu battle. I really love Yu in 5th gen. Yu's 5th gen is probably the funnest metagame I've ever played. Except for like 4th gen OU, but everyone knows that metagame was awesome. So more battles to come, hopefully. Hopefully I'll get some more like battles per se. Definitely more Let's Play parts to come as well. But you know, I want to get some more battles up. I don't have enough of those, especially in 5th gen. So I will see you guys later.